So today we're going to talk about decodable readers, what they are, how we use them at school, and also as a parent, how can you use them at home. So a decodable reader is a text that helps children learn to read. We use them from kindergarten all the way through into year 2 and sometimes even in year 3. Decodable readers are made up of high frequency words, all the words that they see all the time. You may have had some come home in their homework where they practice and learn these through memory. But they also have words in them that can be decoded. That means that they know the sounds, they've been explicitly taught the sounds, and then they learn how to blend these sounds together to be able to read words. When a child is reading a decodable, which has the high frequency words which they've already learnt, plus words that are made up of sounds that they already know, they should be able to independently read these texts, although it can be quite challenging because they have to sound out each word and also recall from their memory the sight words that they know. It is a challenging process, however, we know that these are the skills and strategies that students need to be able to learn to read independently. Rather than giving the student or your child the word when they come up to a challenging word, having a strategy to be able to sound them out or recall a high frequency word will lead to greater success in reading later on. Decodable readers are a little different to the readers that you may have seen come home in early kindergarten and into year 1. Often the early readers that children were getting in kindergarten have very predictable text with the same text on each page, like my little cat is in the basket, my little cat is in the box, etc. This text is so predictable that the students actually learn the text and then look at the picture to predict the last word. They're not actually using any skills or strategies to read other than just memory and prediction. In saying that, PM or levelled readers do have a great place in teaching children to read. They have a great storyline as you go through the levels, which helps with assisting with vocabulary and comprehension. It also, predictable text or text that's easier to read, allows the students to also focus on things like reading from left to right, how many words are there on the page, the words in the picture match in a book, what are finger spaces, capital letters and full stops, punctuation. These features of text are very important elements to learn when reading, and they are easy to teach when the text is quite predictable and easy to read. Decodable readers do take a lot of focus and concentration, and often these points are missed when students are trying to read these texts because they're so focused on blending and recalling sight words. Here at Caringbah North, we're using decodable readers in the early years of reading instruction because we know the research tells us that decodables maximise the chance of reading success. Students have the opportunity to read at their level using the sounds that they've already been taught, and the complexity of the text increase as their sound knowledge and sight word knowledge increases as well. Decodables removes the risks of guessing and using prediction to read, and we also know that the text uses specific sounds that are already taught, again increasing success. In the classroom, teachers use the decodables to see if they can find out the gaps in learning that the students may have. Is it that they just don't know their sounds? Are there gaps in their sight word recognition? Are they unable to blend sounds together? Then they go through a process of building the knowledge for the students. Here's an example of a teacher in a classroom using decodable readers for small group instruction.
Are you ready? I want you to look at the first page for me, and I want you to look at the first 2 words, and I want you to read it for me, okay? Good. Let's look at the word hat for a second, and let's look at the graphemes in hat. Everyone put their fingers under hat? Good. How many phonemes are in hat? Let's say it. Oh, go for it. Tell me. Excellent. Did you count 3?
Yeah.
3 phonemes in hat. Let's say them together. Look at the last grapheme say T. So it says Well done. When we blend those phonemes together, we have the word hat. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to be blending our phonemes together. Let's look at the next page. Can you read the next page?
In a hat.
Beautiful. Turn over. Let's see who else is in a hat.
Cat's in the mouth.
What? Goodness me. Let's go. Read the next page.
A cat in a hat.
Beautiful. And the next one?
A mouse.
Oh, could you check? Is it is the first grapheme?
No,
Oh, it's not, is it? We better check. Let's put our finger underneath and let's look at the graphemes. I want you to say the phonemes that go with them.
This example is of children in kindergarten at the very early stage of learning how to blend and segment sounds. However, as the sound knowledge increases and knowledge of sight words, so does the complexity of the text. This is an example of a more complex text.
It was Plant a Tree Day at school. Mr. Beam was teaching the children about seeds. See this teeny little seed here? It contains a teeny little tree. You can have one each. Plant them deep, keep them wet, and then what, Mr. Beam? Said Pip. Just wait and see. Pip and Molly planted the seeds in a pea green pot. Do you really think we can grow a tree? Maybe.
As parents, you can assist your child in using decodable readers at home to practice them reinforcing those reading skills and strategies that we've mentioned. You can start with learning the sounds and also the high frequency words, which are also located inside the book. Try to have your child use the skills of blending and memory recall of the high frequency words if they get to a word that's challenging and they don't know how to read it, rather than offering the word to them. This will be a slightly challenging process at home, although the books that are sent home should be a level or two below their actual level they're reading in class, just so that you can reinforce the skills and strategies that they've learnt along with all the taught sounds and high frequency words. Try to only read one book a night. You can read more if your child can manage that, but it is a challenging process for them. Thank you for listening to our information session on decodable readers. If you have any further questions about reading with your child at home, please don't hesitate to contact your class teacher, or also you can contact the school. Thank you.